Welcome to A Journey Through the Stars, a deep dive into the universe of Star Fox 64. Released in 1997 on the Nintendo 64, this game isn't just a classic, it's a cultural artifact, a technical marvel, and a storytelling triumph that's kept fans interested for over 2 decades. Today we're not just covering the missions you know by heart, we're peeling back the layers, exploring the surface story, unearthing hidden lore from Japanese manuals and developer interviews, digging into content, and reflecting on why this game still matters. Whether you're a veteran of the Lylat Wars or a rookie stepping into the cockpit for the first time, there's something here for you. So power up your G-diffuser systems, lock your wings into attack position, and let's blast off into the Lylat System. Star Fox 64 hit the scene on April 27, 1997, and it was a game changer, literally. I remember playing it as a kid and being hooked. I loved replaying the missions and maps for fun, even if I don't even know if I beat the game, to be honest with you. I just loved replaying the missions. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I knew what was going on completely at that time. The idea that a story could branch different directions based on the actions you took was fascinating to me, and I think I heard about it from word of mouth. Yeah, definitely from word of mouth from like relatives that at that time, because we lived in different times. It's not like the internet was like it is now. If you saved Falco's life on Corneria, he helped you to get to the boss fight by taking a different route, and he thanked you for saving his life. It added another layer to the game that I had not experienced in other games at that time. Star Fox 64 was developed by Nintendo EAD, taking the bones of the 1993 Super Nintendo original and rebuilding it into something bigger, bolder, and way more immersive. Selling over 4 million copies worldwide, it became one of the Nintendo 64's flagship titles, a must-play that defined what the console could do. But why does that stick with us? Sure, the rail shooter gameplay is tight, and those branching paths that I spoke about keep you coming back to try every possible route, but it's more than that. It's the Lylat System, a galaxy packed with planets that feel alive, each one dripping with personality. It's the characters, Fox McCloud and his crew, a team that you root for through every laser blast, and it's the story, a mix of betrayal, redemption, and legacy that sucks you in, even if it's wrapped in a Saturday morning cartoon vibe. So, what are we doing today? This isn't just a quick retrospective, we're going all in, diving into the game's development history, from its roots in the cancelled Star Fox 2 to the tech that made it shine. We'll explore the Lylat System planet by planet, uncovering lore that didn't make it to the English version. We'll meet the characters, digging into their backstories with details from Japanese guides and developer insights. We'll unearth obscure facts and cut content that hint at what could have been. Then, we'll break down the themes, the narrative tricks, and the cultural splash Star Fox 64 made. And finally, we'll wrap it up with why this game's legacy endures, why it still pulls us back to the cockpit. This is the ultimate deep dive into Star Fox 64, and I'm stoked you're here for it. Let's get started. To get to Star Fox 64, we've got to rewind to 1993. The original Star Fox on the Super Nintendo was a big deal. It used a Super FX chip to pull off 3D graphics. This was a huge feat on a Nintendo console at that time. You piloted Fox McCloud's Arwing through the Lylat System, blasting enemies and saving the day. It was simple, it was fun, and it put Star Fox on the map. But Nintendo wasn't done. They started work on Star Fox 2, a sequel that was way more ambitious, free-flying all-range mode, a roguelike structure with randomized missions, even new vehicles like the Landmaster tank. It was almost finished by 1995, but then it got canned. Why? Nintendo was shifting gears to the Nintendo 64, their shiny new 3D powerhouse, and they didn't want an SNES game stealing its thunder. But here's the kicker. Star Fox 2 didn't just vanish, it became the foundation for Star Fox 64. Shigeru Miyamoto, the genius behind Mario and Zelda, was the director for both, and in an Iwata-ass interview, he admitted that about 60% of Star Fox 64 came straight from Star Fox 2. That all-range mode where you dogfight Starwolf in open space, from Star Fox 2. The Landmaster tank missions on Titania and Macbeth? Yep, Star Fox 2. Even the Wolf team themselves were pulled from the sequel's roster. Nintendo didn't just reboot the series, they recycled a scrap masterpiece and polished it into something even better. Now, making Star Fox 64 wasn't a walk in the park. The N64 was a beast, but it had quirks. The team, co-led by Miyamoto and character designer Takaya Imamura, had to wrestle with the hardware to keep the frame rate smooth while cramming in detailed planets and fast-paced action. They pulled it off, and then some. One of their big wins? The Rumble Pack. Star Fox 64 was one of the first games to ship with this little gadget, a plugin that made your controller shake with every hit and explosion. Imagine playing the Corneria mission, feeling the buzz as you dodge lasers. It was next level immersion for 1997. It may be hard to believe, but at one point, controllers didn't have vibrations from the get-go. You actually had to put an attachment on, just so the controller would vibrate. Then there's the voice acting. The original Star Fox had some chirpy sound effects, but Star Fox 64 went full-on voice acting. Every character got a voice, from Fox's determined grunts to Slippy's high-pitched whining. Fun fact, early recordings were done by the developers themselves, but according to leaks from the 2020 Nintendo data breach, those takes were a disaster. Think awkward line reads and muffled audio. So they brought in professionals. The result? Iconic lines like,
"Do a barrel roll!"
and
"Let you do that, Star Fox."
Sure, it's a bit cheesy now, but back then, hearing a game talk to you like that was mind-blowing. Maybe the biggest leap was the branching paths that I mentioned before. The original Star Fox was a straight shot, start to finish, no detours. Star Fox 64 said, let's mix it up. Every mission has choices. Shoot down Starwolf on Ficina and you're off to Solar. Fail to protect the warp in Meteo and you're stuck on Cattleya. It's not just about replayability, it makes the Lylat system feel dynamic, like your decisions shape the war. That structure came from Star Fox 2's experimental design, but Star Fox 64 perfected it, balancing freedom with a tight cinematic pace. By the time it launched, Star Fox 64 was a showcase for the N64. Gorgeous 3D visuals, rumbling action, a talking cast, and a galaxy that begged to be explored. But to really get it, we need to zoom in to that galaxy, the Lylat System, where every planet tells a story. The Lylat System is the soul of Star Fox 64. It's not just a bunch of levels, it's a living, breathing galaxy with planets that range from bustling hubs to toxic wastelands. The English version gives you the basics, but the Japanese guidebook and strategy manuals flesh it out with lore that makes every stop in your journey feel rich and real. Let's take the tour planet by planet and see what makes this system so special. Corneria, the heart of the Lylat System. First up, Corneria, the fourth planet in the Lylat System, and the beating heart of it all. This is where 85% of the system's population lives. Think bustling cities, high-tech labs, and fields greener than you can even imagine. The Japanese guide calls it the political, economic, and cultural center of Lylat, a beacon of peace until Andross's forces roll in. You start here, weaving through towers and dogfighting over waterfalls, and it's gorgeous, but it's also desperate. Corneria is under siege and you're its last hope. That opening mission isn't just a tutorial, it's a statement. This place is worth saving. Meteo, the asteroid field. Next, Meteo, a chaotic asteroid field between Corneria and Ficina. It's not a planet, but it's a beast of a stage. The rocks here don't orbit like Corneria's moons. Their paths are all over the place, which has fans speculating it's the wreckage of a fifth planet that got obliterated way back when. The Japanese lore hints at this too, calling it a mysterious region. You're blasting through debris, dodging chunks, and maybe hitting that warp gate to Sector Y. It's a high-speed obstacle course, and it feels like you're flying through a cosmic graveyard. The Frozen Outpost. Ficina or Ficina, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even really sure how to pronounce it properly, but it's the next planet. It's a cold one. It's covered in permafrost, and it used to be a mining colony until the ore dried up 9 years before the game starts. Now it's a military intel base, strategic enough that Andross is desperate to get his hands on it. You roll in to stop it bomb, but then Starwolf crashes the party, and suddenly it's a showdown in the snow. The Japanese guide notes its isolation, making it a perfect spot for secrets and for ambushes. It's your first taste of Wolf O'Donnell's crew, and it's where the stakes start climbing. Cattleya, the front line. Cattleya is a war zone. a dry planet with a small ocean building up a military base to rival Corneria's. Andross's forces hit it hard, and you drop in to back up Bill Gray, Fox's old flight school buddy. The mission's got this Independence Day vibe. Waves of enemies, a giant saucer you've got to take down before it wipes out the base. The Japanese guide says Catteya's still developing, caught mid-transformation when the war hits. Bill's "good to see you, Fox" adds a personal hook. This isn't just a job, it's a friend in trouble that we came to help. Aquas, the ocean planet. Aquas is wild. It's 100% ocean, a deep blue world hiding ancient ruins that tie to Titania's past. The Japanese lore says its environment's fiercely protected, which makes Andross's pollution turning it into a toxic soup even more disturbing. You pilot the Blue Marine, Slippy's submarine invention, through these murky depths fighting bioluminescent nightmares like Bakun. It's a slower pace than the Arwing missions, but the eerie vibe and underwater ruins hint at a lost civilization. Aquas isn't just a level, it's a mystery begging to be solved. Solar, the Inferno. Solar's a furnace, a planet with no life, just searing heat. No one knows why Andross bothered with it, but his forces are here and you've got to survive. Your Arwing's taking damage just from being there, and the enemies don't let up. The Japanese calls it a forbidden zone, and it feels like it. Hostile, unforgiving, a test of your grit. Solar's not about story, it's about endurance, and it's brutal. Xanis, the polluted paradise. Xanis used to be a paradise, a resort planet with beaches and clear waters. Then Andross turned it into his personal landfill. He dumped waste until it was a swampy mess. The Japanese guide drops a bombshell. Peppy honeymooned here with his wife, Vivian, before she passed. When he says this place used to be beautiful, it's not just nostalgia, it's pain. You're sneaking past spotlights, taking out refineries, and then Cat Monroe shows up.
We're closing in on them, Falco. Take the right lane, girl. I have the left.
Cat, what are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet a girl?
Xanis is a gut punch, a paradise lost for everyone. Titania, the Red Planet. Titania is the Red Planet, a desert world called Forbidden in the lore. It's got ruins with active defenses, think lasers and traps, guarding who knows what. Slippy crash lands here, and you take the Landmaster to save him from Agoras, this freaky ancient monster. The Japanese guide ties those ruins to Aquas, hinting at a shared history, maybe a civilization that spanned the system before it fell. Titania is desolate, but it's dripping with secrets, making it one of the most intriguing stops in the Lylat System. Macbeth, the Industrial Heart. Macbeth's a mining planet loaded with minerals that Andross turned into a war machine factory. You chase a train across its surface in the Landmaster, dodging rocks and blasting switches to derail it. When you flip that last switch, boom, mission over. The Japanese guide calls it a key supply base, and taking it out feels like you just kneecapped Andross's whole operation. Macbeth's fast, loud, and satisfying. Venom, the Final Frontier. Venom's the endgame, a toxic rock with barely any oxygen, perfect for a madman like Andross. He's built his base deep underground, and you've got two ways in, the easy path through Sector Z or the hard path from Bulls. Either way, you're facing him, a giant head, then a brain with creeping floating eyes. The Japanese lore paints Venom as a death trap, a planet no one sane would touch. The hard pass ending, where James McCloud's spirit guides you out, is pure chills. Venom's not just a boss fight, it's the climax of everything you've been through. Every planet's got its own vibe. Corneria's hope, Xanis's tragedy, Venom's doom. Together they make the Lylat System a galaxy you want to keep exploring. But it's the characters who live there that really bring it to life. Let's meet the pilots and villains who make this war personal. Star Fox 64's characters are what make it stick. They're not just voices on your comms, they've got histories, quirks, and stakes that pull you into the story. The English version gives you the gist, but the Japanese manuals and developer notes add layers that turn these pilots into people you care about. Let's break them down. Fox McCloud, the reluctant hero. Fox McCloud's our guy, the leader of Star Fox, a young pilot with a lot on his shoulders. His dad, James, was a legend until he got betrayed and disappeared, leaving Fox to pick up the pieces. The Japanese manual calls him a pilot with a strong sense of justice, but he's not some invincible hero. He's driven by duty to Corneria, to his team, and a quiet need to avenge his dad. Facing Starwolf, especially Wolf O'Donnell, gets under his skin. It's personal. That moment on Venom when he tells his team to stay back and go solo, that's Fox stepping up, proving he's not just James' kid, he's his own man. Peppy is the old veteran, the guy who flew with James and made it back from Venom to tell the tale. He's Fox's mentor, dishing out tips like, use the boost to get through, and of course,
Do a barrel roll!
the Japanese guide reveals he honeymooned on Zaness with Vivian, his late wife, so seeing it trash hits him hard. Peppy's not just there for gameplay hints, he's carrying grief and guilt, passing James' wisdom to Fox while wrestling with his own past. He's the soul of the team. Slippy Toad, the heart. Slippy Toad, he's the team's mechanic, the brain behind the Arwings and Blue Marine. But let's be real, he's a liability in a fight. Players groan when he cries,
Fox, get this guy off me!
but the Japanese manual flips the script. It says his cheerful communication relieves the team during tough battles. Slippy's not just a punching bag, he's the glue, keeping spirits up when lasers are flying. His crash on Titania forces you to save him, sure, but his amazing scans, like calling out Bakuun's weak spots, are amazing. He's the heart even if he drives you insane like he did when I was a kid. Falco Lombardi, the ace. Falco Lombardi's the hotshot, cocky, sharp, and the best pilot on the team. The Japanese guide says he's got a lot of blood, probably meaning he's passionate and it shows. He's always pushing Fox, snarking with lines like, gee, I've been saved by Fox, how swell. But he's loyal when it counts. His run-in with Cat Monroe on Zaness, she calls him Big Shot, hints at a past romance, softening his edge. Falco's the ace who doesn't need to prove it, but he does anyway, and the team's better for it. Andross, the mad scientist. Andross is the big bad, but he's got depth. He was Corneria's top scientist, biotech genius, until his experiments went too far. The Japanese lore says bioweapon tests nearly leveled the planet, so they exiled him to Venom. There he built an army, but why? Revenge? To prove he was right all along? Takaya Imamura, the character designer, once compared him to Oppenheimer, a brilliant mind that crossed the line. When you face him, that giant brain with eyes, it's creepy, but there's a tragic vibe too. Andross isn't just evil, he's a fallen visionary. Starwolf, the dark reflection. Starwolf's the flip side of Star Fox, mercenaries with skills to match. Wolf O'Donnell is the leader, a grizzled rival who hates Fox's guts, maybe because he sees too much of himself in him. Leon Pawalski's the sniper, targeting Falco with a creepy laugh. Andrew Oikani, Andross's nephew, is a brat trying to earn his uncle's approval and failing. Then there's Pigma Dengar, the pig who betrayed James McCloud. The Japanese guide says he was Andross's understudy, pulling strings in Starwolf. Every fight with them is personal and a twisted mirror of your team. Side characters flesh it out too. General Pepper hires Star Fox, all gruff and desperate. Bill Gray, you're Cattleya, bro, a blast from Fox's past. Cat Monroe, a wild card tied to Falco's history. Even Rob64, the great Fox's bot, might be a gift from James, a quiet link to the past. These characters turn missions into moments. They're why you care about the Lylat Wars. But there's more under the hood, secrets and cut stuff that even hardcore fans might have missed. Let's dig into the hidden lore. Okay, time to get nerdy. The English version of Star Fox 64 gives you a solid story. Andross invades, Fox fights back, roll credits. But the Japanese version plus developer interviews and leaked files paint a bigger picture. This isn't just a game, it's a universe with shadows and surprises. Let's unpack some of that hidden gold. Pigma Dengar, the Puppet Master. Pigma's not just a slimy traitor. The Japanese strategy guy drops a bomb. He was Andross's understudy back in the day, a scientist in his own right. When Andross got banished, Pigma didn't just jump ship, he helped build Starwolf, maybe even roped Wolf into it. That betrayal of James McCloud, it wasn't a quick buck, it was a power play years in the making. When he says, your daddy screamed real good, it's not random, it's a dagger, and he knows how deep it cuts. Pigma's the real snake behind Starwolf, and it changes how you see every clash. The Star Fox team, deeper backstories. The team gets richer too. Slippy's bearish and negative in the manual, but his cheer keeps everyone sane. Think of him as the annoying little brother who's secretly vital. Falco's lot of blood makes him a firebrand, not just a jerk. Peppy's Zanna's honeymoon with Vivian turns his griping into heartbreak. These aren't throwaway lines, they're threads that make Star Fox a family, not just a squad. Every Fox help or I've got my own problems hits different when you know what's behind it. Cut content, the lost levels. The 2020 Nintendo leak blew the lid off what Star Fox 64 almost was. Cattleya was an underwater level, maybe a deeper dive into Aqua's ruins. More Blue Marine action, more ancient secrets. Starblade, named after Namco's shooter, had you manning a turret, blasting waves in a Last Stand vibe. These got axed, probably for pacing, but they show a bigger game that could have been. Imagine Fox holding the line against a swarm or exploring more of that submerged history. It's tantalizing stuff. Cultural roots, the fox in the shrine. Here's a cool one. Fox McCloud's no random animal pick. Miyamoto said in an Iwata Ash chat that he's inspired by the fox statues at Fushimi Inari Taisha, a shrine in Kyoto. In Japan, foxes are clever tricksters, messengers of the gods. Sound like anyone? That cultural tie gives Fox a mythic edge, blending Eastern lore with sci-fi flair. It's a subtle nod, but it's there if you look. This hidden lore, Pigma's schemes, the team's depth, lost levels, cultural echoes make Star Fox 64 a rabbit hole. But a game's only as good as what it says. Let's talk themes and story. Star Fox 64 isn't deep literature, but it's got heart. Under the lasers and explosions, it's about loyalty, betrayal, and legacy. These are elements that will stick with you long after you're done playing the game. Loyalty, the bond of Star Fox. Loyalty is the glue here. Fox trusts his crew and they've got his back. Peppy with wisdom, Slippy with spirit, Falco with grit. You hear it in the comms. Hold on, Fox, or I'm here for ya. It's not just chatter, it's a lifeline. The gameplay backs it up. Your wingmen can get shot down and keeping them alive feels urgent. They're not invincible, but they're family, and that bond drives every mission. Betrayal, Pigma's shadow. Betrayal is the poison. Pigma stealing out James kicks off the whole mess, and his smug face keeps it raw. Andross betrayed Corneria, twisting his genius into vengeance. The branching paths play with it too. Mess up, the story darkens, like you've let someone down. Facing Starwolf isn't just a fight, it's a reckoning with trust gone wrong. Pigma's too greedy for my own good isn't a quip, it's a confession. Legacy, the ghost of James McCloud. Legacy's the big one. Fox is chasing his dad's ghost, literally. If you hit Venom's hard path, every mission's a step toward living up to James, but also breaking free. That ending with James saying, "Don't ever give up, my son," isn't just cool, it's haunting. Is he alive? A vision? It's up to you, but it's about what Fox inherits. Courage, duty, a name to carry. The game's asking, what do you leave behind? The story's told smart. Voice acting brings it alive, those branching paths keep it fresh. Little touches like Bill's "good luck" or Cat's sass ground the war in people. It's simple, sure, but it's timeless. Loyalty, betrayal, legacy hit everyone, everywhere, in any story. Star Fox 64 didn't fade, it sparked a legacy. It shaped later games. Star Fox Adventures went wild with dinosaurs. Assault brought back the team vibe. All Range mode and the Landmaster stuck around, and Fox and Falco crashed into Super Smash Bros., cementing their icon status. Beyond the series, shooters like Rogue Squadron owed a nod for that squad in space feel in a game. Culturally, it's huge. Do a barrel roll is a meme for the ages. Google even made it an Easter egg. The Rumble Pack kicked off controller feedback, and voice acting paved way for talking games. Fans keep it alive. Speedrunners shave seconds off Venom, modders rebuild cut levels. It's the gold standard for Star Fox. Later titles tried new stuff, but 64's magic is untouchable. That's our trip through Star Fox 64. It's a game, a world, a piece of us. From Star Fox 2's ashes to its hidden depths, it's got layers, planets with soul, characters you love, themes that linger. It's why we still play it, still talk about it, why I'm making this video. So hit like, subscribe, tell me your favorite mission below. Until next time, keep flying and
Do a barrel roll!